So I'm going to start with the tag that has been going around for the mid-year tag, like the freak out tag, answering these questions about books in the mid-year review. So the first question is, how is your reading going thus far? Reading for me is going great. I set a goal on Goodreads to read 75 books. I'm at 59, but that's normal for me to read. 75 is way more than I have ever read before, but right now it's going well, and so I'm looking forward to next year. Already setting a goal for next year to read 100 books. Don't know how that's going to happen, but we're going to try, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. The next question is, what's the best book you read thus far? This has to be Curvy Girl Summer. OMG. So yes, this book was all across the nets, but I picked it up because one is a Black author, two is fair representation of how I look and how my friends look. And I wanted to be represented in books that's not about being thin and not finding love and being mad. I wanted a curvaceous girl to be able to say, hey, men love me too. So this was an excellent book so far in the year. The next question is the best sequel. Of course, it has to be This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. Is the follow-up to Before I Let Go, which was also awesome. Awesome. I got the chance to meet Kennedy Ryan at Barnes & Nobles in New York in the spring, and she's just an awesome author, awesome person, and I'm looking forward to reading her entire catalog. The next question is new release, haven't read yet, and so that is Brooklyn by Tracy Brown. Brooklyn because I'm from Brooklyn, and so that interests me. And also Miss Brown is no longer with us, and this is kind of I've read something about her before, but I haven't completed it, so this would be the one book that I would complete moving forward. The next question, favorite book so far, or favorite book? I have to say it has to be Curvy Girl Summer. It was so interesting, the dialogue, the characters, everyone, and it just felt good to be seen and represented in a book. The genres that I read the most now has been romance, to tell you the truth. It used to be nonfiction, fiction, sometimes some suspense, but I started following Shaughnessy back in September, and she's like a romance girly, and so romance has quickly come to the forefront. And then also Brooklyn Book Bell, she always talks about like urban fiction and urban romance, so I get a lot of my books from her as well. The next question, most anticipated read. So the most anticipated read for me is Sunny Hostin's Summer on Highland Beach. I read Summer on the Bluffs and Summer on Sag Harbor. I'm currently reading this. I'm actually going to Martha's Vineyard this weekend, so I'm super happy about that. But this is my most anticipated read, so I'm getting ready for my vacation. And then I have another anticipated read, which is by Dr. Akila Cadet. I hope I'm saying that right. I got a chance to meet her. It's called White Supremacy is All Around. Notes from a Black disabled woman in a white world. She talks about her story, which is super important, talking about white supremacy and being a woman that's considered disabled. But more importantly, when I got to meet her, she's so freaking awesome. Her personality is wonderful. And that day she was in a lot of pain, but she showed up and she told her story, and she was like, this is what it is. The next one is The Biggest Disappointment. I don't even have the book. That's how disappointed I was. But let me not say that, because I don't want to knock this author, because I do like this author. But what I've learned from this book is that I don't like books that kind of go back and forth with time. I noticed that about myself, because then I read another book that did that, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not what I do. And that is Tia Williams, A Love for Ricky Wilde. Really wasn't my favorite book. Everyone loved it for the most part. You can have it, and we'll stay there with that comment. The biggest surprise was Babel. I haven't finished it. This was like a big boy. I haven't done a big boy in a very long time. And I started reading it with a book club. And I haven't finished, but I'm looking forward to finishing it. I don't even know, maybe that's my ignorance what to describe it as, but I love it. It has a little bit of history to it. It talks about education and things of that nature. So I think that's what grabs me with this book. And the follow-up to this question is a new author to me, which is R.F. Kuang. I read Yellowface by her, which I really enjoyed, and I'm really enjoying this. So it's gonna make me go back and see the Poppy War trilogy and what's that about, and kind of dive a little bit more into her books. The next question says, which book made you cry? So I changed it a little bit. Is which book made me mad? And this is the book that made me mad, When No One Is Watching, by Alyssa Cole. And not that I don't like her. I love her as an author, and I can't wait to read her newest book out. I forgot the name of it. One of Us Knows, I think that's the name of it. But this one made me mad because it talks about gentrification, and it talks about gentrification in Brooklyn. And my mom and I have a house in Brooklyn. And it made me mad because I see it. Like, more than not. I see it. So, yeah, I ain't cry. I wanted to fight. And that's that. Favorite character? I really don't have a favorite character. No one that sticks out. Like, yes, I remember certain characters, but nothing that sticks out like, oh, yes, or like a book boyfriend or something like that. So I really can't answer that. So I'm going to the next question, which is, which book made you happy? And that is Curves for Days, which is something that by Laura Mulher. A book I just happened to pick up in Barnes and Nobles. I passed by it like 3 or 4 times, like on a trip that I went there. I went and then I went back and then I went back and I kept looking at it. And this was really, really good. It's also about a curvy girl that finds love after having a crappy upbringing. And this one made me happy for the big girls out in these streets. So Curves for Days is under the radar, but it should be on the radar. And the most beautiful books. I have 3. I think you probably know who they are, what they are. Also, back to Kennedy Ryan, please, before I let go, and This Could Be Us. And then also in that, Curvy Girl Summer. These are hitting when it comes to like black women, curvy women, women with afros and textured hair and things like that. So it has been a joy reading these books by these black women authors, and so that is awesome. So the last question I'm going to answer is probably not the last question, but the last question I'm going to answer is the books you need to read by the end of the year. So the books that I'm anticipating reading by the end of the year are a series, and it's 3 of them. One is by Frida McFadden, the Housemaid series. So the Housemaid Secrets, and just recently came out The Housemaid is Watching. As you can tell, I got this from Target because I had that little ugly Target sticker. But these are books that I definitely want to read by the end of the year. And then the next series is by Laura Roberts, Powerless. This has been getting mixed reviews, and I'm really not a fantasy girl, but I want to try. So Powerless, Powerful, and then Reckless, that just came out like literally like a week or so ago. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And then the last series is the Caraval series, which is Caraval, Legendary, and Finale. Once again, I'm not a fantasy, romantic-y type of girl. And I will say, I've been hearing, and these are like TikTok books, and I've been hearing a lot about them. And plus, they're pretty. And I'm a pretty book buyer. Like, I buy books because I really want to buy them. But let's be honest. I like pretty books. I like pretty books. I like pretty books. I like pretty books. Obviously. So, yes, this is my little slice of book heaven. I want to thank my friends and niece, and also Natasha, for kind of pushing me making this video. Now, if this video comes out, then we will move forward. If this video doesn't come out, you won't even know I did it. But I'm gonna be realistic and try to post once a month because this is super new to me. I read anyway. It's not like I'm not gonna read. I read anyway. It's a tech part. It's a tech part, like editing videos, adding stuff to it. So this first video is gonna be real raw, and hopefully like a year from now we can look back and say, girl, you've come a long way. But once again, if you want to look up and see what I'm reading, what I'm drinking, as far as coffee or wine, or where I'm going, please subscribe to Book Uncorked and Caffeinated, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.